What's up? How y'all doing today? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. A little bit warmer here in the Berg today. It was actually beautiful yesterday. It wasn't a freaking cloud in the sky. So what is on my mind today? There's a bunch of different things. I don't even know what the freaking topic of this one's going to be because got some stuff I'm probably just going to ramble on about. So, one of I think it was Korean exchange, maybe it was Bitstamp, was awarded a bit license from New York State. Now, that's aggravating to me for people that live in the state of New York because of the bit license stuff. I don't like regulations when they hinder progress of things that don't need regulated. Okay? Now, in the case of an ICO, maybe people should register with the ICO police. Like, who's responsible if you're being a jerk? You know what I mean? Or you're ICO and under. So, Bittrex, which is a pretty well organized and pretty well run exchange here in the United States, they didn't get their bit license. They were denied. When I found out why they were denied, it was like, really? There were just things in there that typical exchanges probably should have that Bittrex doesn't. So it makes me actually question a little bit more that exchange. And it was more about like training people about different things and providing different quality assurance stuff. And I guess I'm okay with that, with New York having the bit license stuff. But there's been other cryptocurrency organizations that have tried to get bit licenses and were just denied for no reason at all. But that kind of stuff is what holds back adoption. Or what it does is it forces people to get creative and go around the regulation. So sometimes innovation comes out of it. So that's not, too crazy. What else? I saw an indicator yesterday or the day before that indicator that was shown used some raw data and pretty much indicated every high and low, so that when it touched the top of this one line, that was the tip of the bull markets. When it hit the bottom of one of these lines, it was the bottom of the bear market. And I can tell you, looking at that and looking at the information they brought in, anybody has access to that information, that they can test it out if they want. It was very convincing to me. This indicator would tell you exactly when the top and bottom is in. Now, I didn't dig into it deep enough to figure out if it was, reactionary to the point that it was a delayed kind of indicator, or if it, actually told you, like it just continues on. So each day it continues out and that indicator gets to the top, then it's the top. Maybe it's time to take some profits and buy back in at the bottom. But I was really convinced by this indicator. So based off of that, I can tell you I'm 100% confident we hit the bottom, folks. My opinion of all this is that I think we're going to do one of a few different things. Probably going to go up, probably going to go down, back up again. That I can guarantee you. I think we're going to go up. And I think I've mentioned this before. There is a cup and handle pattern that forms when people are trading. That is forming as we speak. So when Bitcoin gets up to the 6,000 mark, it should pull back, form the handle, and then go back up the depth of that cup. Well, holy crap. That's about $3,000 on top of, say, $5,000, or maybe we drop down to 4,300 or something. and then we go up $3,000 from there. Maybe we drop down 38.50, maybe somewhere under. I don't know. Depends. I don't think we're gonna go that low. I don't. I mean, there's a lot of support around that 3,800 to 4,200 price range, so I don't think we're gonna go any lower than that. I don't think the handle will come down that far though, if we do the cup and handle. So we could smash through that $6,000 resistance like hot knife through butter, going up through it. So that's one option. The other option I think could happen is we continue to gradually go up from where we're at right now, but there's not a lot of resistance there. When you look back at the charts, there's not a ton. So we could continue up to 6,000 and then correct back down to around that 4,000 mark again. The other scenario is we just come back down to that 4,000 level again from where we're at now. Or we go to zero. No, we're not going to go to zero. Too much development going on in this crypto sphere. All right. So that's what's been on my mind. And another thing I was thinking about is there's some very good cryptocurrencies out there that are extremely cheap. They are actually up. Some of them are up, maybe 50%, 100% more than what they were at their low point. And they're still not at their all-time high. But there's some that are very cheap in terms of their dollar value for a number of reasons. And they're probably in the top 10 or in the top 50 on CoinMarketCap. So I will tell you two of them that are in the top 10-ish that I really like are Stellar and Cardano. I've talked to you about Cardano before. I really like Stellar because of their partnerships. They are heavily partnered up with IBM. And IBM has been around for a long time. They constantly figure out ways to innovate and stay relevant. And they are working with Stellar, doing a lot of interesting things. And you can look it up. They got a lot of good stuff going on, and there's more coming out. Apparently, there's rumor that Stellar will be coming out with a blockchain phone. I don't know. We'll find out. But the rumor mill is out there on that one. Really like it. Cardano. Why do I love Cardano? Cardano should probably be one of your bigger holdings, where you should hold a large chunk of it. Maybe it doesn't have to be one of your larger holdings. But from the sheer speculative investing side of it, it's hanging around like 9 or 10 cents. Its all-time high was like $1.20 or $1.40. Let's just say it's $1.40 and it's at 10 cents. Well, that's 14 times your money to get back up to that all-time high, right? Not a bad way to go. If you got into it at its all-time low or about 4 or 5 cents ago, now that multiplier becomes a little bit more. That's just the investment side of wanting to get something that will probably go up, right? But more importantly about Cardano is the fact that there's over 200 developers or more working on this. And more importantly, in my personal opinion, because I teach computer science, is what they do and what they're doing in their principles for building out this blockchain is been tested and vetted and run through some of the best computer scientists in the world, their theories or whatever it is that they're trying to do. I'm telling you, if there's one crypto that I think that'll be part of the next big wave, it's probably going to be Cardano. Stellar probably too. But this next big wave that comes in, and some of the things that Cardano has coming out as far as features and how they're going to keep things decentralized and their governance structure, A lot of things that, are technical that some people just don't care about, but it makes for a stronger blockchain. It's harder to hack. It's, the fact that they're looking beyond just right now and thinking about adoption and interoperability. How many blockchains out there can interoperate with another blockchain? There's not a ton out there, or people are developing a solution to go in between. Okay, and I think Stratus is one of them that's providing the go-between, which is very cool. But Cardano wants to build that in there natively. I love it because as we move on, there's going to be probably a few thousand, several thousand different cryptocurrencies out there. Just as there's probably several thousand currencies that people use now in their own countries. So that interoperability is very, very important to me, which makes them more usable. And there's a blockchain that's been around since about 2014 called Digibyte. Digibyte. Digibyte it. When you look at what they did, they looked at what Bitcoin had. They took Bitcoin's code and adopted it. But they look at what was there and said, how can we make this better? Same as like what Litecoin did. If you're going to think Bitcoin is like the founding father, the granddaddy of them all, right? And then Litecoin comes along and that's like the young dad. And then Digibyte comes along and it's the young strapping lad that can do everything better because he learned from dad and he learned from grandpappy. And he's very wise at his young age, right? So one of the things that Digibyte looked at was supply. 21 million? How many billions of people are there in the world? Come on now, let's do 21 billion. That's a little bit more fair. And then people can actually adopt it and use it. Because, well, Bitcoin, people are going to be transacting in Satoshis, not one Bitcoin for a car. It's going to be, 10 Satoshis for a car. So that's one thing. They looked at the block time and they thought, well, how do we keep it secure and keep it fast? So their block time is 15 seconds. They did 15 seconds because of the lag of the internet around the world. That's great. Let's think about things here. Let's critically think, how can we make this better? They're natively building in digi assets, which will function a lot like Ethereum, like smart contracts, or like if you know anything about Raven Coin. So it's another blockchain, allows you to tokenize things. So that's what Digibyte is building out right now. They looked at the fact that there's only one algorithm that Bitcoin uses to hash out their algorithms. Or let me explain that again. There's only one algorithm that hashes out the how can I explain it without being computer science tech savvy? When the coins are created, there's an algorithm that gets used, and Bitcoin only uses one. Digibyte doesn't just use one, it uses 5. So in order to take over 51% attack Digibyte, you have to go attack 51% attack 5 different algorithms. I don't know if that's possible. Might be, but it makes it a lot more difficult. Okay? Digibyte is pretty darn cheap right now. It's all-time high, I don't know, maybe it's around 12, 13, 14 cents. It's like 1.5 cents right now. And looking at the charts, depending on what Bitcoin does, Digibyte may drop down a little bit lower. So it may be a great thing to buy. They also have DigiID. What does DigiID do? It allows you to use your Digibyte wallet, right, to log into different websites, making your information a lot more secure. Why? Because you're the only one that has that wallet. Okay. There's a little bit technical stuff behind it, but it's a great way to log into websites I believe there's a Chrome extension with Atom ID. They incorporated the DigiByte stuff, so I haven't played around with it, but if I get a chance, I may check it out, let you know about it. So those three right now are very, very, very appealing to me because they're low, they're cheap, and they have a lot of room for growth. They're very strong in their fundamentals. They got a good community behind them. So I'm not giving you that as investment advice to go run out and buy that stuff. But those are three. If you do your own research, I'm sure you'll come up with the same feeling as I have about them. So anyway, I'm pulling in. Hope you're all doing well. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.